Welcome to Two Tired Teachers, episode 180, 5 helpful things you must try this school year. I can't even believe that we are talking about a new school year. It is the end of July, and in Florida, we go back in the beginning of August, and in some other southern states. I know there's a lot of states that also go back in August, and some people go back in September. Lucky. And I would definitely want to be one of those people, but unfortunately, here I am in Florida, like so hot that I could just burst into flames. So anyway, today, Lee and I are going to talk to you about 5 helpful things that you must try this school year, because this year is going to be our year, people. It's got to be. Hope you stick around.
Welcome to One Tired Teacher. And even though she may need a nap, this teacher is ready to wake up and speak her truth about the trials and treasures of teaching. Here she is, wide awake. Wait, she's not asleep right now, is she? She is awake, right? Okay. From Trina Devery Teaching and Learning, your host, Trina Devery.
And we're back. Two tired teachers.
Two tired teachers. And I'm sad. It's like our last summer episode.
It is our last summer episode, but that doesn't mean it's our last episode. So yeah, we'll talk about that. But I think it's definitely our last summer episode, and not for everyone, because some people are in summer in August as well.
Yeah.
But not in Florida. You're like, we're ready to start back.
Oh yeah. August is like back to school. Even if you don't start till mid-August, you're thinking about it. As soon as like it says August 1st on the calendar, it's absolutely back to school time for sure.
Yep.
So, but this,
yeah. But this one is, we're going to give 5 helpful things that you must try this school year. So hopefully we're going to give some people some good things that they can think about for the year as they go into a new year. And I am just going to say a big prayer that this year is totally like so much better than it has been for the past couple of years.
Yeah. And I think teachers need the win. Can we give them the win, please? Like, let's not shut down the schools. Let's kind of keep things as natural as possible. Let's try to, keep the good things that were working, but get rid of the things that are just not working anymore. But mostly, I just hope that schools don't close down, because I think it's that disconnect or that emergency having to, like, you're in the classroom, you're not in the classroom, you're online, you're not online. I'm trying to teach half a line and half in person. Like, teachers don't need any of that drama.
No,
because
and
we're still being, Well, they're being held to the accountability level.
They are.
It's a normal school year.
No, I know. And my district, we're doing the dumbest thing ever. We're doing like an accelerated. They're looking at the accelerated Florida best standards, and they're functioning. I know. The whole thing.
Accelerated.
You don't even want to know, because it's just so.
Like, I know there's Florida best.
Yes, there's Florida best, but in the math. In the math area, there's accelerated standards.
Oh.
Yes. And so they're functioning on this. It's like they've gone back to, I don't know, 1980 something. I don't know what they're doing. It's insane. It's insane for the students. It's insane for the teachers. And let's not talk about that, because that's not what we are talking about.
We're getting off on a tangent.
Yeah,
let's refocus. We have 5 little nuggets. If teachers do nothing else this school year, we're hoping they do these 5 things. We've been talking about a lot of them this whole summer series. And we really just want, today's episode is just like hitting it home, right? It's just hitting it home that if you do nothing else this school year, please try these 5 things, because it will bring less burnout, more time to you, more peace to you, and just like fill you better as like a person and a teacher.
Absolutely. So number 1 is mindful practice.
Yes.
So when we say mindful practice, for people that don't know what that is, what do you say?
Well, mindfulness is just the practice of being mindful of things that are happening around you. But there is actual like teachings of mindful practice and what that is. And that can look many different ways for many different people. It could be doing a 5-minute meditation session, or I think most people don't realize it, but like that last part of yoga where you lay on the mat,
Shavasana.
that yes, yeah, where you just lay, that is mindful practice right there. But you can bring those things into your classroom because they benefit your students as well. When we're mindful, we help to re-regulate our nervous system. And coming out of a pandemic, I feel like we keep talking about it emptying and we're going to get like, sucker, it wasn't, but we're being positive today. But coming out of a pandemic, we have a lot of dysregulated nervous systems as adults and as children. And we need to do what we can to help regulate that, and to help regulate doing mindfulness practices in the classroom will help. It'll help alleviate behavior. It'll help alleviate like a lot of fight or flight, because that's what a lot of people are in. Like everyone's on the anxiety is on the rise. So they have fight, flight, or freeze.
Yes,
right?
freeze.
Like,
I never knew about freeze until recently. Yeah. And so your body is automatically jumps into one of those three states.
And you're in a low level of that state all the time, so you don't even realize it. And so like that's why students can be so triggered by such little things. And teachers are talking about like kids are like running out of their classroom or this and that.
Yeah.
So once we can help re-regulate our bodies, kind of like reset them back to factory settings. So we're not on this heightened state of anxiety or truly trauma.
Because you've literally left the prefrontal cortex. You are no longer functioning with rational thinking. And so you have moved into this, you're right, fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah.
I think things like yoga in the classroom. I used to do yoga in the classroom, and I actually have those in my store. Yoga in the classroom. I have cards, and they are different poses that you can do with your students to help them re-regulate and calm down. And I also used to do yoga in my classroom with I got my yoga certification a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Over here.
Yeah. It was crazy. I just really mainly did it because I wanted to deepen my practice, but I also wanted to figure out how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable, because this was hot.
Yes. Well, that's exactly what yoga is. It's doing tiny uncomfortable things so that you can be comfortable without, because yoga in itself is not actually very comfortable, but it's also not hard.
Yes, exactly. And so,
but I think, so that is so easy to take.
Yoga is helpful. And what else? Meditation. I think a great app, I actually do pay for this, but I think it's completely worth it, is Headspace. Have you ever heard of it? Headspace?
I have heard of that.
Yeah, it's really great. And it has meditations, guided meditations. It also has things to help with sleep. This is something that teachers might need for themselves, obviously not their students.
Yeah.
Such great
like if they're needing to write, like,
there's like a wind down. It helps you like go through mentally going through your body and shutting things off. It's very calming. Sometimes I fall asleep doing that. Yeah, it's great. And then they have soundscapes, which are like, you can get rain on rocks or like a campfire.
Like calming sounds. Like, wouldn't that be nice to play like after coming in from recess?
It's so great.
5 minutes of that sound.
That's true. That would be great. And then soundscapes, which are like stories in a very soothing voice, where they talk to you in a very monotone voice. But it's so relaxing. They actually, John Legend, he has one of them in it's really cool. And so it's just a great app. So that's called Headspace. All right. Any other mindful practice?
I was going to say, like, Go Noodle has a ton of mindfulness exercises. And that's something a lot of teachers are probably already using for the brain breaks. But if you just search like mindfulness, I used to do them when I taught second grade. We would do them at key points in the day. And it was it's crazy how it just kind of reset the class and just brought a calm, especially when I taught kindergarten, because we would do those in kindergarten.
Yeah, I love that.
And watching a kindergartner do yoga is perfection. Like, it's so cute.
Yeah, that's adorable. Like, all right. So
then actually almost like teaching kindergarten for like a hot second.
For like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then you remember.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh my gosh,
crazy kitten.
I will say, like, as a special area, like being a special area teacher for just a small amount of time, you're like a rock star to kindergartners. And I think part of it for me is because I'm so tall that they're like, whoa, Look how tall she is. I just look so tall to kindergartners, and they think you're a rock star. I love that. All right. So the second helpful thing that we want to try this year is to work at work.
Yes. And leave work at work. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of puts together multiple conversations we've had over this summer, talking about like setting clear boundaries and also doing less and having more from that by getting more out of less. No.
Which was, it's how do teachers master the doing less to get more theory.
Yeah.
And
so this kind of pushes those two theories together.
Yeah. And then we had another one on, you're right. Okay. Setting boundaries is 176.
Yeah.
All right. I'll link to this.
Setting boundaries and then the doing less to achieve more. And I think when you're leaving work at work and doing work at work, it's much easier to have a clear boundary, and it's much easier to keep that boundary when you go home. And so that might look like, making sure on your planning break, instead of doing what I know I want to do, which is scroll through my phone or go talk to my teacher friend next door and gossip about whatever.
Yes.
Instead, it might be sitting in your classroom and grading papers. And that doesn't have to be every break, but just utilizing the time that is set aside for you. And I know, gosh, how many breaks are taken just for stupid meetings.
Yes.
But using the time that is set aside for you and maximizing what you can get done in that time so that you can minimize what you're having to do at home. Because I do think overworking and not keeping a clear work-life balance is what can lead, number one, to teacher burnout for sure.
Yes.
And we don't want you going into the school year thinking already you're going to be burnt out, because you're probably still feeling it from last school year.
Which is not, and that's one thing to say, it's not teachers' fault. Like we say burnout, and I know that you don't mean this at all.
It's not.
I'm thinking that society acts like teachers that's their fault, and it's not. These are just ideas for you to help yourself. There should be other things put in place to help you as well, because
but you can't control those, right? Like,
oh, you're right. You can't, but
you can control what you do.
We do want our systems and our administrators and things like that to actually care about this for teachers. Mm-hmm. So we need that as well. But these are things, you're right. These are things that we can control. So what can we do to make it better for ourselves? Yeah. So I think that's a great one. And a work-life balance is very, very important. So I say one of the things about working at work is we talked about this before, but I still think it's important with the kids having jobs, like giving them more responsibility, taking some things off of your plate so that you are not doing all the work. It's the students should be doing the work.
All the work all the time. Yeah. And now,
all right. I think that's good. Okay. So the third component, the third helpful thing, I don't know why I said component, is a really important one. Honor your boundaries.
Mm-hmm. Yes. In our one episode about setting boundaries, we discussed very simple ways that you could set boundaries. Mm-hmm. Taking your work email off your phone is a huge one. And I will keep repeating that for over and over years and years to come. I don't care if we have to say that on every podcast episode. Please delete your work email from your personal phone. You do not need it there. It's just better left off. And that is an easy way to create a boundary set, because that's your personal device. Another way is to set boundaries, even with coworkers. Like if they're reaching out to you and saying, hey, I just, I don't need that right now. Or I don't know. Cause I feel like this happens a lot, like in work situations where your coworker is feeling stressed about something and they're coming to you, and you feel like as a good coworker, you should be there for them. But it's okay to set a boundary there and be like, hey, I don't have the mental space to discuss that right now. Or can you come back after school? I mean, we don't want to turn friends away, because goes against everything.
For sure. But you're right. I think setting that, I know I have my one really good teacher BFF. She completely gets me worked up. Like I leave the conversation and I'm ready to go riot in the streets. Like I'm right? Rebel teachers, come on. And I am fired up, but I have to set a boundary of, I'm not going to answer the phone after 7:00 at night.
Exactly.
Because I have to start to unwind and let go. And so I can go to sleep. I have trouble sleeping, but so I think that's fine. I don't think that means you're turning, if she's texting me, it's an emergency, then obviously, yeah. But you're not turning your friend away. You're just setting a boundary for yourself.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, a lot of coworkers will come to you with negative things. I just remember what I was working at a school and the lunchtime, I hated eating in the lunchroom with the teachers, like at the little teacher lunchroom, because all they did was complain. And I had to draw a boundary. On one hand, I wanted to eat with my team. I felt that that was important. And it was important for me to have a lunch outside of my classroom. But on the other, for personally, I couldn't listen to the negativity about the job. It's bad enough. And I know you're complaining, and I think teaching, we should be able to be safe places, but it was every day, all day, every day. Like,
yeah, it's like, maybe you set some ground rules as a team. We used to eat in one person's classroom so that we were away from all the other complaining teams, and that we could just talk about personal things, like embarrassingly personal. And that was a relief. Or The Bachelor. We like on Tuesday, it was time to talk about The Bachelor. So it was like a break. Yeah, I love that. And my team was the best. So we did set some boundaries, and we started getting too negative. We're like, okay, that's enough. Like we can dedicate some time to talk about, like, and maybe in our team meeting, we can spend 10 minutes complaining, but after that, we've got to move on.
Yeah, but we can't just complain and do nothing about it. And it was bad. It was a bad culture, and it was just allowed to happen. And I just eventually stopped eating with them, which is sad because I really liked my team.
You don't want to feel isolated and like you don't have like friends and people to talk to.
But I just couldn't handle it. So I'm telling you, be better than Lee in that moment and set a boundary and say, hey, I don't mind listening, but let's put it to an end. And we'll pick it up again at our team meeting to discuss solutions, or we'll, do that.
If you say that, then maybe you can just subtly change the top, change it. Did you see The Bachelor last night? Are you watching Ozark? Did you? Something where you get them off topic and you start talking about.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
So, all right. I think another one that I think is really, really important is, now I just lost it. Okay. You
with boundaries?
Yes. Yes. Remembering that when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So if you are like, yes, yes, yes to all the committees and all the crap they think you should do for nothing, for free, extra overtime, you're saying no to yourself. You're saying no to your kids. You're saying no to your family, your friend, your mom, your whatever, your brother. Yep. So I think we have to remember that as well.
Yeah. And it's okay to say yes to something that you're really excited and passionate about, but just think in the back of your mind, what can I say no to make this yes thing happen? Like, cause I did this one time. I started a running club for girls at my school and I loved it. And I wanted to say yes, but I had to say no to a bunch of other things so that I could make it happen. And you know what, though? It was worth it because it was a passion of mine. And it was like just a ragtag group of girls. And we were going to run twice a week. And it was great. It was a great experience. Right. And I'm so glad that I said yes to doing that. But it also meant saying no to, I was like the PD lead that year. I had to say no to doing some of the afternoon PDs that I was doing. I had to say no to, grading after school and things, and had to give up planning. So it's okay to say yes. You just have to acknowledge what you're going to say no and allow that to go.
You have to take something off if you're going to say yes. I think that's a really good message because you don't think about that. You keep thinking, oh no, you can shove more. But that's when it just starts to get too heavy. Exactly. All right. So, helpful thing number 4, extend grace.
This is so big because we talked about how judgmental the teaching community can be
sometimes.
And I think coming out of where we've been as a teaching community, the best thing we can do for each other is extend grace, and extending grace not only to our fellow colleagues, people we work with every day, people out in the teaching community that we see online, but also to ourselves.
Yes, to ourselves.
Like, God, give yourself some grace.
We're so hard on ourselves. We don't have to be perfect. Yeah. We can't be. It's too much pressure. But I remember being judgmental of veteran teachers that were leaving on time. How dare I be upset about that? Like that's like a toxic work environment when we when we were pushing, and everybody, like a badge of honor is how late you can stay.
Oh, I
like,
know.
let's stop that. And let's like, be like, how in the world can you leave at that time? Can you share your secrets? I really need some help with that, because I'm still here till 6:00. So I
exactly.
think
hey, come knock on my door when you're leaving so that I know
yes,
I need
and
to
tell me
leave
that it's time to go. I actually used to do that for some people. I'm like, okay, time to go. It's it's past our time. You're working
I
for
had a
free.
team lead who would do that. She would literally go and knock on everyone's doors and be like, all right, we're walking out to the parking lot together. And I'm going to tell you that peer pressure really did,
No, you're right. Oh, I have a regret on that one. I should have done that as a team leader. All right. And then last but not least, idea number 5, and that is integrating subjects.
I love this one because this just like speaks to my teacher soul. I love when a lesson can be like interdisciplinary, where I can teach social studies standards tied in with reading. Give it. Yes, please. If you go to my store, I have tons of thematic units. There's a reason, because it saves you time and energy in the planning process. If you're able to bring in social studies or science content into your reading block, that is a beautiful way to marry. And it doesn't,
I totally agree.
Doesn't mean it has to be like, we're learning about space this week, so everything's about space, math's about space. It doesn't have to be that intense.
No,
but like just bringing
in your nonfiction,
bringing in your nonfiction texts that kind standards, of are around this standard really allows you to save yourself time on the planning.
And it's like that one bird with 2 stones. Oh man, I get that wrong every time.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I can't get them more with less, and you can't get the
I can't get that.
Yeah. I think it's because it sounds very violent when you say
it does. I know. I want to stop that one. No, I think that's great. We'll link to those in the show notes. I too have it's science comprehension, on purpose, so that you can cover those nonfiction standards. But there's a bonus science experiment, so you can do a little hands-on science, because I think that's important as
well. And when we're talking about integration, it doesn't mean just only reading text.
Oh, no.
About the standards.
It's just covering more things in a concentrated time period.
Yeah. And the benefit too is you're going to see a massive increase in student engagement, because kids love learning about the world around them. And I think we undervalue that as educators. We forget that kids, we've been in the world for 20 plus years. Those kids are still brand new to it. And it's so cool to them to see and learn about how things work, or why things are, or how this started. They love that. And so you're bringing that engagement piece, but you're also the vocabulary, the content vocabulary that's there. The comprehension is deeper too, because they generally are interested in the topic.
They're excited. I love that. And that's my biggest, I care about that the most. I want kids to love to learn.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like right now kids aren't loving to learn.
No,
they don't.
We want them to.
School feels heavy and hard. And I feel like there are times it needs to. Sometimes school is hard. But in general, I think kids should have a feeling of school makes me smarter. I feel good at school. They should have good feelings about school.
I think so too. They want to feel safe and happy.
I think teachers feel the same way. They don't have good feelings about school either.
So we want to, hopefully we can change a little bit of that this year. Well, we did it. Yep. We went through the 5 things, and the summer is about to end, and whoa, what a ride.
So please keep these 5 things in mind. Mindfulness practice, keeping work at work, honoring your boundaries, letting go of judgment, extending grace, and trying to do some
integration,
integration with your content areas into your reading block, if possible.
Sounds perfect. All right. These 2 tired teachers are gearing up for a new school year.
Yes. And we'll see you on the flip side.